247 Sports itself really loves Leonard Taylor as the #1 rated defensive tackle, top 4 player in the nation, second rated in Florida. Rivals and ESPN may feel a little bit less about him, but regardless, it all adds up to really elite level status. #3 rated defensive tackle, top 30 player in the country according to the composite. Leonard Taylor doing what is one of my favorite activities, I would guess, in regards to this recruiting process, to announce when he's going to announce, as I understand.
Yeah, so he's already put out their commitment date. His is going to be on August the 6th, 11 days before my birthday, in case you guys are wondering. And so August the 17th. Yeah, just did the math for you. But yeah, so he seems to be down to Miami and Florida, maybe with a couple other schools peeking around the periphery there. But the scuttlebutt, the chatter, if you will, is that Miami seems to be in a good spot and pulling away a little bit. I'm not going to necessarily be that certain about that as yet, just because with 3 weeks left, things can change, things can happen. I've seen things change overnight, and you all have as well. Oh, I thought he was going here, and then all of a sudden, so, let's be cautiously optimistic, but it does seem that Miami is in a good spot, whether he picks Miami or not. Miami is in a good spot for Leonard Taylor, as his recruitment seems to be coming towards a conclusion with his announcement day coming up on August 6th. So obviously all our eyes will be peeled in that direction. Our full attention will be given. And again, with a guy who, if you're looking at individual proprietary recruiting rankings, or if you're looking at composite rankings, is an elite prospect, just like Jason Marshall. So what I say about Jason Marshall, at any time that he decides he wants to come to the University of Miami or anywhere, there will be a spot for Leonard Taylor. So we're holding one for him, obviously, and hope that he decides that he wants to stay local at the University of Miami and help to rebuild the defensive line and just upgrade the level of athletic ability that is there as well. I know that other people are still looking at Mason Smith, again, with 2 A's from Louisiana, Terre Haute, I think it is, or Humula, one of those two. And that kid is a freak. I've seen the film of both of them. Obviously, I've not gotten to games for both, but I mean, if I had to pick one, I'm picking Mason Smith, but it is hard for me to believe that a top tier player is leaving Louisiana and not going to LSU. So I'm not going to believe that. But if you're talking about pursuing a top elite defensive tackle, Miami Palmetto Senior High School, Leonard Taylor. And again, and it's funny because Savion Collins, the other blue chip defensive tackle from Palmetto, is currently committed to Miami, but there's varying degrees of belief of whether or not Miami is even contacting Collins in terms of recruiting right now. And he's committed as a 4-star blue chip tackle. He used to play at Miami Southwest. Collins did. Southwest Miami. It's always backwards because in Detroit, you go school, whatever. Or actually every other school, even Miami Carroll City, Miami Northwestern, Miami Central, every other one except for Southwest Miami goes backwards. I don't know why. Because, in South Miami is actually a city. So you would do that. But anyway, Collins used to play at Southwest Miami. Now he plays over at Palmetto as well. And he's committed, but so that could be a 1-to-1 swap there. And again, this is where I'm talking about. If you get 2 or more from Palmetto, you're in a good spot. So, if you get 2 and those are Jason Marshall and Leonard Taylor, sign me up. If you get more than that and 2 of them are Marshall and Taylor, it's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Yeah,
when I see these commits considering Miami and look at the rankings at the position, I've been thinking, boy, if Miami can hit on about half of them, but obviously those 2 kind of separate themselves. Will Steed and Jennings play, meaning Wayman Steed, 2017 recruit, and also Bradley Jennings, a signee from 2017 as well. Both pretty fair prospects, top 50 at their position, inside linebackers. I'm assuming these guys are playing special teams at this point.
Yeah, I would say that that's pretty much it, absent injuries or just a ridiculous kind of physical transformation. And we're talking like a Khalil Mack, J.J. Watt, grow 3 inches, gain 50 pounds of rock solid muscle kind of a thing. This is part of the downside of recruiting, because your goal is always to recruit over who you have on the roster. And then if you develop the guys on the roster, then you're just raising the bar and it just keeps going. In the case of the players mentioned, Steed and Jennings, first of all, they've dealt with injuries, which have kind of truncated or shortened or hindered their development. But also, guys that have been recruited behind them are just better. So you got guys like a Samuel Brooks, and yes, he's coming off of a knee, but he's just a more explosive athlete as you're trying to rebuild the athleticism or upgrade the athleticism at linebacker, even though, yeah, you're not as bulky as when you had Quarterman and Pinckney. But if you take an Avery Huff, who's a freak, oh my God, I can't wait to see him on the field. But you have Avery Huff and Samuel Brooks, and those guys are, you know, Huff is what, 6'3", probably 210 now. Brooks is 6'1.5", 6'2", probably up to 200 pounds. And both of them can fly, and they have increasing physicality as well. And then you like have guys who've been out with time and they're maybe a step or two too slow and things like that. I don't know that there's going to be a spot for them, you know? So the goal has been to recruit over them. We have recruited over them. And I think that those guys that have been recruited over are going to be the ones that play. So if you mean in terms of will they ever see the field, ever cross the sideline with a helmet strapped on? Yes, it's going to be special teams. If you mean if they're going to play and be a starter or integral member of the defense, a la Shaq Quarterman and Mike Pinckney, my answer's got to be no.